welcome back to another Short and Sweet, where the reviews are short.
And it's really sweet that they shared it with us. However, this was not shared with us. This came from the Jim Beam Barreled and Box, which is something that we subscribe and pay for, but we wanted to do a short and sweet on it because we wanted to get into it. This is Little Book Chapter 9. I don't think it has a no in the... Nope, it's just none for granted. They could have called it No for Granted.
Yes.
Missed opportunity?
Yeah.
What are we looking at price-wise on this now, Chad?
It is $159.99.
$59.99. Okay, gone up a little bit. I feel like when they came out 9 chapters ago, it was around 130, if I'm remembering.
Yeah,
right?
like 120, 130-ish range. Yeah, and then so it's a slow creep. It's a downstep from the limited edition they put was like 190.
The Infinite? Yes. Little Book The Infinite, which was last year, but an LE. Yeah. So less than that. We're also dealing with 1 rye. And the rest is bourbon, right?
Yes. Yeah. So it's 7 to 11-year bourbon and then 8-year rye.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's see what we're working with here.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of rye spice on there. I don't know, and we don't get the ratios of what's in here. Obviously, there's more bourbon than there is the 1 rye, but
right. But we also don't know what types of bourbon because it just says Kentucky Straight Bourbon on there, not low rye, high rye. So we don't know really what mash bills are in here.
Yeah, but typically doesn't Beam. I mean, they have the Old Granddad mash bill, which is a higher rye. They have the Beam mash bill, which is not as high of a rye, but still a rye bourbon. And then they have their rye whiskey mash bill.
Well, they've got one that's got 78 13 9, 75 13 12, and then the high rye mash bills. So there's 3 different bourbon mash bills right there.
Well,
yeah. So.
All right, fine.
All right. But yeah, very rye heavy.
Yeah.
I love it.
A little bit of baking spice. There's some. Does it make sense if I say warmth? There,
no, 100%. Yeah, there's some warmth. I'm getting just some of that nice bubble gumminess that I get on the Knob Creek ryes. Good brown sugars, very quintessential rye profile.
Right, yeah. I'm not getting the typical Beam nuttiness profile here, really.
This definitely does not hit like a Beam bourbon product, which it's not a Beam bourbon product, but it does not hit like a Beam bourbon product.
Correct. Well, there we go. To your health. Ooh. Okay, and we didn't even talk about the proof. Yep.
Nope, I just remembered that when I took a sip.
Yeah, I was like, we did not tell people this is 121.8. Yep. I feel like it's only 121.8. This is
hitting like 130 plus. This has some heat to it.
Yes.
It's explosive.
And nuttiness is on the palate.
Very much so.
Yes. Whoa. That is going to take a minute. That is going to take a minute.
Yeah, that's something that needs to be sitting for like 10, 15 minutes to really dive into it.
First bourbon of the day? First bourbon of the day?
First bourbon of the day.
Okay, yeah. Long finish, though. I'll give it that.
Crazy long finish.
Yeah.
It is super rich and spicy.
Well, I'm going to go in for the second sip.
Second sip.
Yeah. Good mouthfeel.
Great mouthfeel.
Yeah, very viscous.
Super syrupy, dense, hits all points of the palate.
Yeah, almost like honey.
Yeah.
But intense. Liking it, but I feel like, to give us a fair shake, we've got to just let it sit here.
I honestly believe something in here was really high proof, and the other whiskeys proofed it down.
Okay.
Because it is so big. It is just a big, loud whiskey.
What if that 8-year rye in here is Booker's Rye?
I mean,
it's not.
No, well, we don't know. We don't know that. Don't act like that.
It's not.
We don't know.
It's not. All right, we do want to let it sit here and open up in the glass so we can give it a fair shake. So while we wait, I want to tell you about our home on the internet. It's whiskyambitions.com. It's where you can get the Rye or Die t-shirt because this does have 8-year rye in it. The hat that I'm wearing, the Glencairns that we were drinking from. It's where you can also find our bottle cut candles, our water glasses, all of our glassware, in fact, our elemental elixir cocktail syrup, and more always coming soon at whiskyambitions.com. And since Chad is newer over here in the co-host seat, I'll do the pitch for our Patreon, which is patreon.com/itsbourbonnight. That's where you get another round episode. You get entered into giveaways, get discounts on the merch at Whisky Ambitions. I'm actually not good at this either. Sarah normally.
You get first dibs at the barrel picks that are
First
done.
dibs at the barrel picks. Thank you very much.
You get credit in the episodes.
Yeah.
Get show ideas. Yeah. Early access. He already said that one.
See, you pretty much got it.
Sort of.
All of that and always more at patreon.com/itsbourbonnight. All right, we're gonna let it sit here a little bit longer. We'll be back after this. And we're back. It's sat here for a little bit. Hopefully it is maybe softened a little bit in the glass.
Let's find out.
We shall see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the nose, getting more of the caramel, vanilla, your more typical flavors, because I feel like the ethanol sort of evaporated off of here, and it's letting the truer kind of notes show.
Yeah,
through.
you're getting more of the bourbon now. So like you're getting some of that bean nut on the nose.
Yeah, the nuttiness is coming through now.
A lot of butterscotch caramel notes.
I dig it more than before, so will the palate follow suit? Find out next week on It's... No, just kidding. Here we go. Okay. Still packing a punch, but much better.
Much more palatable.
Yes, much better.
Definitely needs that aeration time.
Yes.
Or several drops of water, maybe.
Yeah, we might try with the last remaining bit, some water, but it does stick on the tongue. It is staying on the palate.
It is heavy and it is sticky.
Sticky.
It's got a really, well, I was gonna say it's like pine, but it's not really like pine, but there's like this herbal earthiness on the tip of my tongue that's just kind of like I can't put a flavor to it.
Yeah, there is a bit of herbal. Yeah. All right, one more sip, and then I'm gonna put a little water in mine. Well, I'll tell you what it's not. It's not a Booker's.
It is not a Booker's.
Yeah, it is definitely a Beam, James Beam product.
Yep. If you take the Knob Creek Boo Rye blend up a notch, I think that is this. A little more care and craft into this, but I think it is in that realm of profiles. So,
do you want to?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like the rye is really doing more to this than I would have thought just from the list here. Again, it doesn't give the ratios, but you think, oh, there's one rye and 5 or 4 bourbons. It just seems like the rye is doing a lot. All right.
You have a lot more than I do. I was trying to get like little drops.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Needs water.
Needs water.
Needs air.
Yes.
That's not a bad thing.
No.
It's so much more flavorful now. So much more flavorful.
A lot more nuance, I feel like, to it now. Yeah.
A lot more ups and downs in a good way. Like it's wave after wave after wave after wave. And the finish is already long on this to begin with, and I feel like this is just going to help create a better finish.
Yeah. Still stays on the palate, though. Still stays on the tongue.
Absolutely.
This is whatever, 4th, 5th sip. Yeah, it's sort of spreading out in the chest, but it's not. It's really more up here on the side cheeks.
It's totally more of a
tongue,
tongue palate.
I don't know, for 160, this was more of a first impressions video, but I feel like this is going to be one where drink it down halfway and then sort of reevaluate, right?
Right.
Time, air, maybe even adding water to it when it's down here to really give it a fair shake. I would say not my most favorite Little Book batch. That's fair to say.
No, but I think it is a really, really good batch of Little Book.
And where, batches can get a little experimental with all the different types of whiskeys in here.
Right.
This one a little more tried and true. Not a bourbon because of the rye in there, but more in that wheelhouse of flavor than a lot of the others. So yeah, not bad. Looking forward to drinking this down and seeing where it gets. But hey, that's where we better leave it. If you haven't subscribed to us already, you can do so by clicking right up here. There's suggestions of other videos down here. Hope to see you over there in one of those. Until next time, drink more bourbon.